Full screen, my friends. Okay. So this is just a quick something about to get us in the mood for next Sunday's Ratha Yatra. So, of course, you can see Mahaprabhu. Okay, next. This is the Jagannath Temple where it all begins. You know, it's interesting. In the archaeological study of India, they have the age of the Jagannath Temple. And they say the Jagannath Temple was built about 2,000 years ago. But then, because we know it's a whole story, but was it Indradumna, King Indradumna, and the whole thing? But it says there in the archaeological study of India, it says, but it's built on the foundation of a much older temple. So it's 2,000, they agree, but it's built on the so this is the Jagannath Temple in Puri next. And this is the Puri Ratha Yatra. You can see this scene. Next. Oh, that's a. If you want to eat, we got to volunteer. One more volunteer. Right, that's kind. Oh, Nelson, way to go! You got a bright future, Nelson. He does. No, he does. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so next. Okay, we'll go through this quickly. This is the whole cart. It has to be replaced periodically. So this is for making. They do special mantras to find out where the right kind of tree is. It has to be a special type of tree, and because otherwise the wood will warp and it has to be purified. So that it's like finding the Dalai Lama, the next Dalai Lama, you know, that he recognized. So they figure out by some mystical incantation to where the right trees are. So once they get the right trees, here they are. They're sanctifying it for making the cart. It's not an easy thing. Next, they didn't go to Walmart and buy it. And this is them making one of the wheels from the tree. This is the process. They're carving. There's a whole crew there. And there's one of the Rath cart wheels. Okay, next. This is the first Ratha Yatra in San Francisco. This is Shama Sundar's truck. And there you see on each of the three sides with the cab in front. There they are going through San Francisco, 1967. And I think Shama Sundar's dog, Ralph, was in the front seat. So you'll see where we've come from the first, humble beginnings. Okay, next. This is Jayananda, Mr. Ratha Yatra. Someday, on Jayananda's appearance day, we have some nice stories about Jayananda, but we don't have to. But Prabhupada certified the first American Vaishnava saint, Jayananda. Next. This is San Francisco, 1970. It's the first Ratha Yatra I ever went to in San Francisco. So next. You see the crowd. And the thing is, this is going through Golden Gate Park. We went through Golden Gate Park, then you come down by the ocean. It's an old hippie auditorium. It was called the Family Dog Auditorium. It was Fillmore West. They used to do all kinds of concerts and things there. And just because it's so ecstatic. What happened is that the Hells Angels read in the San Francisco Chronicle, the Hare Krishnas, these men in pink skirts, were holding a festival. So they thought, well, let me go beat them up. Like Banasura, they got all the arms, so they wanted to go beat them up. Marked it on their calendar. Now, simultaneously, the Black Panthers thought, hey, let's go beat up these Hare Krishnas. Something to do on a Sunday morning. So they both marked their calendars, and it's 100% true. They showed up in the back, because Balaram's cart in the back, and a small nod to Kshatriya spirit. They thought, well, why fight these low-protein vegetarians? Let's fight each other. So the Hells Angels saw the Black Panther. Black Panther saw the Hells Angels, San Francisco, 1970. And they went at it hammer and tong. They were jumping off the cart on each other. Karundar, Kesha were in the back, throwing them off. It was why this is going on? Back on Balaram's cart, this huge riot is happening. And then, when they would fight during the daytime, Jarasandha and Bhima, and then be friends during the night. So they kind of worked all their passion out, and they bonded. And whoever was left, they were a little dinged, a little scraped. They all joined in the Ratha Yatra. 100% true. And so we went through Golden Gate Park. if there were cars blocking the cart, there were so many people, we would just pick up the cart, literally pick up the car and move it. People that come back, their car would be on a lawn or somewhere, you know, it was fantastic. Just a massive human force. And we came down to the Family Dog Auditorium. Bhavananda had gotten a bunch of barbecue grills. You know, those, barbecue, those pit, what do you call those things on? 3 legs, and and he filled them with charcoal, and he put bags of incense. Because the whole thing smelled like beer and cigars and who knows what else. Big old auditorium. And he filled the whole thing with frankincense. So it's billowing clouds of smoke inside, you know. Prabhupada, and it's the whole gamut of humankind. There were Indian families, there were hippies, there were college professors, there were straights, there were Hell's Angels, there were everything was there. It was a golden moment. And the Jagannath deities were on the stage, and there was a Vyasasan for Prabhupada. Prabhupada came out. His presence was it was a wood dance floor. When Prabhupada came out, everybody automatically bowed down, spontaneously. Even the Hell's Angels and the Black, and you could hear their billy clubs and their chains hitting the wood floor. And I remember Vishnu Janmarsh said it was like when all the Brahmas came and offered obeisances, you know, when he called, and all their helmets made the sound that they hit the floor. So this was a Kali Yuga, 1970. All the chains and billy clubs and baseball bats fell on the floor from their fight. And Prabhupada's first thing Prabhupada said, it was just magical. Prabhupada started off by saying, "My dear frustrated youth of America." And the whole auditorium burst into applause. I mean, Prabhupada had them from the first line. They were like, yeah, we're with you, you know. So this is a little flavor of the 1970 Ratha Yatra. Next. This is Bangladesh. This is a heavy Muslim country. It used to be East Pakistan. Now it's Bangladesh. This is through old part of Dhaka. We went right past the mosque. Not on Friday. I don't recommend that. But you can see the crowd. It was fantastic in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Next. This is, of course, everyone knows this is the Los Angeles Ratha Yatra coming to you soon, which this LA Times calls it a spiritual Barnum and Bailey's circus. And I remember thinking, it remained a doubt. Just like Prabhupada said that, you know, saintly, to kill a snake, if it's a venomous snake, you can kill it. Prabhupada said it's in the Bhagavatam, so it's true. But Prabhupada said he had a bit of a doubt. And there's a whole story about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. There was a poisonous cobra, kill it immediately. And then Prabhupada found the verse in the Bhagavatam said, when scorpions and snakes are killed, saintly people are relieved. You know, so in the same way, 400,000 human species, it made a bit of a doubt. It's a lot, right? But then I went to Venice Beach. And it's possible. There's a guy on stilts. There's Tree Man. Remember Tree Man? And Tree Man, now he has a tree girl. And they have a tree baby. It's true. You'll see him on stilts. It's fantastic. So there it is. Next. Again, just to give people, if you've ever been to the LA Ratha Yatra, there's nothing like it. It's just wonderful. And it's so expertly organized by the Swavas and the LA team. They have a book every year. One day they give a day to recover, then all the different heads of the different things in LA gather. And they say what worked, what didn't work, what could we improve, what was the problem. And they note it all down, and they have a book. Swavas has a book about this thick. I mean, how to put the trash can liners in the trash cans. It's in the book. And it just goes on like, I mean, it's a lot of hard work, but it's so much fun. Okay, so next. This is a nighttime Ratha Yatra in Australia. It's one of the biggest concerts in Australia. I figure it's like 100,000 people. It's Wexford. I think it's Wexford concert. And when everyone's there, it's at night, so they light up the cart. Now, we were criticized that you can only do Ratha Yatra from the Pandits who wouldn't let the devotees into the temple, in Jagannath temple. Therefore, Prabhupada wouldn't go in. Wouldn't let us in, Prabhupada wouldn't go. And we got a letter that you have to have Ratha Yatra on this astrological day. That's the only day you can have Ratha Yatra. Prabhupada said, Lord Jagannath, he's not Purinath, he's Jagannath for the entire universe. So wherever there's the biggest crowd, so it's winter time up here on the southern hemisphere, it's southern. So it's summertime. So they do it in December at this huge festival. Here's one of the carts, all lit up at night, and they go through thousands of people chanting and dancing. Next. What happened? That's not New York City. Okay, next. Okay, well, whatever. It was a beautiful... Prabhupada said, Fifth Avenue is the most important street in the most important city in the most important country in the world. Now, that was America in 1970s. Now it's, who knows. And Prabhupada came as an immigrant. He didn't know anybody. Prabhupada said, when I got off the boat, I didn't know whether to turn left or turn right. He had 40 rupees, which you could not convert into American dollars. No bank in America would even touch an Indian rupee in those days. So literally, he had a sack full of coins to get him to Butler, Pennsylvania. That's it. And then, a few years later, he's sailing down the most important street in the most important city in the most important country in the world with thousands of followers on a giant Ratha Yatra. That was the picture that we don't see. But just, you want something mystical. Think about that one for a minute. Okay, this is Hong Kong. They do it at night too. This is in Kowloon side where all the shopping and it's packed. Next. And they also light up the cart at night. You can see Tirtharaj there, Prabhu, in the front. But that's Hong Kong. Next. This is in Perm, Russia. Russia's in the Urals. Perm is in the Urals. Dvijamani could tell us more, but I mean, it's anyway, whatever. Those mountains are considered the dividing between Europe and Asia. And here's the Ratha Yatra. It's on the Kama River, which I thought was pretty cool. Okay, next. This is Bali. It's a Muslim country. Indonesia, of course, it's much. But there are thousands of... So my point is that all over the world, thousands of people, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people of Ratha Yatra, started by Srila Prabhupada. Next, we're almost done. This is London and Piccadilly. And that's, I don't have my laser pointer, but this is Nelson Column. Nelson was, he's the Spanish Armada. He's the archetype hero, Lord Nelson. And they have a big statue of him. And the Rath cart was taller. And the Times of London said, the Hare Krishna's cart is challenging Lord Nelson. Prabhupada loved it. Next. So Prabhupada, the lifelong lover of Ratha Yatra. Next. So I think that's it. There's Prabhupada, Ratha Yatra. Next. Okay. What is it? Vishva Purna Sukhaya. The Vaishnava thinks, let everyone be happy. Look, wherever they see, let them see happiness. Okay, next. Oh, this is at Gundicha Mandir, when they moved Lord Jagannath down. We were talking about it last, cleaning the heart, Gundicha Mandir. So this is Lord Jagannath at that Gundicha Mandir temple. Yeah, the house of the goddess of fortune. Next. And we can end there. All glories to Lord Jagannath. It'll get you in the mood for Ratha Yatra. Hare Krishna.